Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome. I have a lesson today, and I've gotten a paper from Distinction Publishers. This is grade 8, a 002 social study paper, and I want us to have a look for around 30-35 minutes before we call it a day. I know at the moment learners are out for half term, and I want us to keep in touch so that we can have some discussion, and wherever there is any question, I'm requesting that we post a question. I will be able to see within 24 hours and respond to my learners the way we have been doing. So I want us to walk us together through this paper so that we see that whether we can cover some questions that will boost our revision as we prepare for the final exams. So this is the second edition. The first edition was done and we did it, and now this is the second edition. And once we have an important material like this, we always share, or I always share with my learners to make them aware on what is happening. So welcome, let us work together. As we know always, under social study, we always have what we call the map reading, and please, we say that we must check all the elements of the map. You can see from my screen, we have Mosocho area as the title given. We have some physical features in the map, and I want us to share them together. So you can see what we call River Mogusi. Then we have Nyakoe Shopping Center, we have Hostel, we have the Maize Plantation, we have Marane Division, we have Mosocho Town, Mosocho Division, we have the dispensary, we have the MO, the school Lale School, the police station, we have an airstrip, we have Eronke Center, and we have Manga Hill, which is 2,000 meters above the sea level. Around the hill, which is Manga Division, you can see we have what we call trees. So, boys and girls, we can say that the northeastern side of the map, towards this point, this is the high area, simply because you can see the flow of the river. River Mogosi flows from the northwestern side. This is the northeastern side. Northwestern side flowing to southeastern side. Somebody can be asked about the activities done in the map. One, we have a shopping center, so we have trading activities. We have what we call medical care being offered as a social service. We have a railway station. Of course, we say that we transport bulky goods. In this case, we have maize plantation, and that's why maybe we have this line here traveling or transporting maize from the maize plantation maybe to the town center for selling. We have again Marane Market. We have another dispensary here in the town. We have Lale School, so we have the education activities, Eronke Center, and we have a certain vegetation here. We come to know what vegetation is this. And we say maps, or the towns in maps, in most cases they grow because of transport network. You can see the town is growing, or the town has grown, simply because you can see a Tamarket Road, and we have the road junction here. But I can see that this area, in fact, it was acquired from Mosocho. I think Mosocho is found in Nigusi land, in Kisi area. The place, I'm sorry for this, the place seems not to be developed because we have more Maram roads. You can see Maram roads from the eastern side, the northwestern side, the western side, the southeastern side. So we have the Maram road exiting the Tamarket Road. Can we identify social services in the map? Number one, we have hospital. Number two, we have school, so we can say educational services, health services, hospital and dispensary. We have the police station, security is also a social service. See, the police in Kenya cannot choose whom to give security and whom not to give. In the key, you can see the forest. We have the forest, Market Road, river, Maram Road, the bridge, divisional boundary, the scrap. Oh, yes. This is a scrap. So, anywhere you see scraps, boys and girls, a scrap is a hot and dry, hot and dry. A scrap is hot and dry, and the shrub is hot and wet. So, this region around Eronge area, the climate here is hot and dry simply because of the scraps. We have the municipal boundary, we have the railway line, police station, and the school. The first question, the general direction of flow of River Mogusi is, River Mogusi flows from, you can see, Mogusi flows from northwest to southeast. Northwest to southeast, that way. So we have northwest to southeast. So this one is very correct. Question number 2, the approximate length of the Tamakid Road. And you can see a scale here, 1 centimeter representing, it is 1,000 meters. So this what happens, you take something like a thread, but you can't use a straight line here, straight like a ruler. Take a thread, then measure from here correctly. You measure up to the northern part of the map. What you get, then you equate. You say if we assume that maybe I've gotten something like maybe 15 centimeters. I can assume after measuring using a ruler. So I will say if 1 centimeter represents 1,000. What about 15 centimeters? How many? Then after getting in terms of meters, convert the meters into kilometers. Remember, 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters. So we assume if the distance from here to here was 15 centimeters, so I'll say if 1 centimeter is equals to 1,000 meters, what about 15 centimeters? Now we are going to get 15,000 meters. The 15,000 meters, if you can see the answers given in terms of kilometers, we are going to convert the 15,000 meters into kilometers. So we say, if 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters, what about 15,000 meters? How many kilometers? You multiply, you cancel, then we remain with 15 kilometers. The natural vegetation found at Eronge Center is found in areas where the climate is. Where is Eronge area? We said Eronge area, the climate is hot and dry. These are scraps? Yes, the climate is always hot and dry. Hot and dry, good. The highest point in Mosocho area, the Mosocho area is, the highest point, you know, we have a hill here. So it is Manga, near Manga Hill, because you can see the altitude is very high, over 2,000 meters. We have the forest and the source of the river. So this is the high area. So around Manga Hill, yes, the question is very correct, Manga Hill. Another question here, Mosocho area can be described as Mosocho area. Now, there is something here that we have known as divisional boundaries. These are the administrative units. So, if we have a divisional boundary, which means we have one division and another division. You can also see this is a division. This is a division known as Marani division. This is another division here known as in fact this one has no name, but you can see the boundary. Divisional boundary, divisional. So these are division, these are division, these are division, and this is another division. So more than one division, we form what you call a district. Remember, a division is under the district officer. The district is under the district commissioner, the DC. So since we have a divisional boundary, we assume this one division, another division forms a district. So the head of this one is a district. This is a district under the district commissioner. Which one of the following social facilities is missing in a Mosocho area? The social facilities that treats all members, they serves all members regardless of your gender, of your tribe, of your socio-economic standard. So when you go through the answers, we have education. I think we saw a school somewhere here known as Lale School. Lale School is here. Then number 2, health facilities. You can see here, these are an hospital and a dispensary in the town. Then we have what you call security. I can see a police station, it is here, a good police station, the PS. And now the answer C, D, we have recreation. We don't have any educational facilities, so we can say that one is the one missing in the map. The industry that can best suit Manga division is Manga division. We have what we call a forest, and the forest, these are agricultural products. So these are plants. So when we do lumbering, lumbering is a non-food processing industry. So we can see that we lack the processing industry in the map, and this processing should be, of course, non-food. We don't consume timbers, but we can consume fruits from trees. So we don't consume timbers. So simply we say this is a processing industry, of course, non-food. So the answers you are given: manufacturing, the service and assembling. Then you add lumbering. Lumbering is not an industry. Lumbering is an activity done from a certain industry. So this is a non-food processing, since we have timbers from the agricultural sector and we don't consume timbers. The question number next. The early creatures. The early creature was in late Stone Age period in human evolution. It is Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens were the early creatures under the late Stone Age period. We had Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, sapiens. Remember, Homo habilis meant able man, or handy man, man with ability. They were holding things using their hands. And we had Homo erectus, meant the upright man, those members who worked in an upright manner. Then we have the Homo sapiens, the intelligent men who can think. The question number 9. Which mineral is used in lining fences, making water filters? This is the diatomite. The diatomite makes water filters, and of course making chalk painting. Listed are the functions of Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission. Which one is not? The functions of the IEBC. Which one is not? Number 1. The main function of IEBC, boys and girls, is to conduct an election. Of course, it is mandated by the Kenyan Constitution to conduct a free, credible, and fair elections in the nation. That's the main work of the IEBC. It is to conduct and supervise credible and fair elections. Number 2, preparing a register for the voters. Remember, before we go for an election, the register must be reviewed. For those members who have died, they will be removed from the register, and the new applicants, the new candidates who have attained the age of 18, they are being allowed also to be recruited. So buying electors' cards to those who register as voters, we don't buy. It's an illegal. Announcing the results after elections, of course, yes. So the answer was supposed to be dog. Dog is not one of the not dog. C. Buying electors' cards to those who register as voters. We don't do that. Which one of the following is not a cocoa growing area in Ghana? This one is very tricky. We are used to the cocoa triangle, whereby we say that we have Sekonde, Takoradi, Accra, Kumasi. Sekonde, Takoradi, if I can have a sketch on how the cocoa triangle looks like, I want to use this space inside here. Please you bear with me. I want to draw something small like a triangle. Then I'm going to label those areas. We say this is Sekonde, Takoradi. Then we have Accra here. Then we have Kumasi, the northern side of the map. So this is the most commonly triangle that we test. The Sekonde, Takoradi, Accra, Kumasi. Sekonde, Takoradi, Accra, Kumasi. Sekonde, Takoradi, Accra, Kumasi. But now today we have some other areas. Remember, under Sekonde, Takoradi, Accra, Kumasi, this is where these are big areas where we have the mass production of cocoa. But now we have Obuasi. Obuasi also we have cocoa growing. We have Kumasi, of course. Kumasi is one of the three cocoa triangle. We have Kanongo. Kanongo is also there. And the Teme is outside the cocoa triangle. But the Kanongo and Obuasi and the Kumasi, they are found within the triangle. Which one of the following is a role of school in community development? The school, we have what we call interdependence between the school and the community. The school do benefit the community by doing what? Giving learners opportunity to acquire knowledge. The school allows learners to acquire knowledge from the community. which will be useful in the community development. Purchasing school books, this is the work of the government, and ensure the welfare of the teachers. We have the organization of teachers like the NAT and the CUPET, and ensure good academic standards. This is the work of the teacher, of course. And of course, the committee of the school must ensure that there is good academic standards. And that's why in most cases, in Kenya, when you see learners are not performing very well, even the school committee plus the parents, they always come up and riot, demanding answers from the head teacher, because the head teacher now should ensure that the good academic standards of the school are upheld. So the answer is A, give children opportunity to acquire knowledge. This is the work of the school to the community development. Pastoral farming among the Fulani people is favored by the following conditions. We have the pastoral farmers. These are the Fulani members that we have them in Western African region at a place known as Sahel. The Fulani are the largest pastoral farmers we have in the world and the most famous. And the Fulani in Africa, they occupy a place known as Sahel region. And we say that the Fulani, they don't move southwards because where they occupy, they fear of the Caesar flies that will attack their animals, and that's why they don't move southwards. So the Fulani also do keep horses. The horses are being used for monitoring animals at the field, and also when searching for pasture and water for their animals. So we have the horses among the Fulani. So what are the factors that they promote pastoral farming among the Fulani? Number one, the Fulani occupy an extensive grassland. Of course, yes. The Fulani, we have what we call slow population growth, and that's why they have large tracts of land. Number two, the area occupied by the Fulani receives heavy rainfall. In fact, if we had heavy rainfall among the Fulani people, they could have not been doing what we call pastoral farming. I think they should be doing a different occupation. But now, since the rainfall among the Fulani are very minimal, and they occupy large tracts of land or extensive grassland, and of course we say the absence of Caesar flies in the grassland, population of Fulani is low. So the answer boy is saying that the areas occupied by the Fulani receives heavy rainfall. The heavy rainfall supports crop growing. Places where we have, Africans, we say that agriculture is our backbone in Africa. Almost all African countries, we depend on agriculture. So if the Fulani land where they occupy, if the region was receiving enough rainfall, they could be doing something different like farming, but not pastoral farming. So the answer was, pastoral farmers among the Fulani people is favored by the following conditions, except the Fulani occupy an excessive grassland. Of course, yes, very true. Answer C, absence of the ancestral in the grassland, very true. And the population of Fulani is low. Of course, yes. So the answer was supposed to be, which one of the following does not describe longitudes? These are lines, we call them imaginary lines that they run from the North Pole to South Pole. And these are longitudes. They are being also called meridians. The main meridian passes through Accra city in Ghana, of course, yes, and in London. They are parallel to each other. They are not parallel since they meet at the North Pole and the South Pole. Parallel occurs under the latitudes. Before I forget, longitudes, they influence time of a place, and that's why in most cases, when finding the time of a certain place, we use longitudes. We don't use latitudes. They are measured in degrees, of course, yes. Who among the foreign early visitor in Eastern Africa was not a trader? William Macdon had a trading company known as Ibiak. This man was given a charter by the British to administer her colonies in African continent on their behalf. Said he came to Africa, of course, as a trader from the Asian continent or Arabian countries. And remember, shifting his capital from the Moscow to Zanzibar. The Karl Peters also was a trader. He had a Jack Company, the German East African Company, that conducted an administration in Tanganyika. But later, I think the German were accused by the European Union that not the League of Nations, but they were very harsh and brutal to the members in Tanzania, and that's why we say that when Tanganyika was under the German rule, the German applied what he called direct rule. So when there was an outbreak of the First World War, the Germans were accused by other European nations of being responsible for the Second World War. So all her colonies were taken away from German, and they were given as the British were given as a trustee to take over from the Germans, and that's why we say that the German rule in Africa ended in 1919. So then, when the British took over, they used what you call indirect rule. So John Speke was not a trader. Which one of the following is not a way of losing parliamentary seat? Members of parliament lose seat under some circumstances. Number one, if a member of parliament is imprisoned for 6 or more months. Of course, yes. If you are being imprisoned for 6 or more months, you lose your seat. If a member of parliament has defected from his or her sponsoring party, if you defect from a sponsoring party, you lose your seat. For example, now we have members from Azimio shifting to UDA. Constitution, they should lose their seat. Once you shift from the sponsoring party that took you to parliament, you are supposed to lose your seat through resigning. Then you go into a fresh election, we call a by-election, now through the party that now you have joined. If a member of parliament misses 8 consecutive sittings in parliament, and also there are some things that we should understand. Members of parliament can miss seats, can miss 8, 10 seats, but with the permission of the speaker. Boys and girls, I remember the other day, we had this member of parliament, the 12th parliament, we had this member of parliament known as, I think, Moses Kuria, yes, from the central part of Kenya. He was from Katundu South. Moses Kuria had an injury that made him to be out of the National Assembly for around 6 months. He had some injuries in his legs. Then he was taken to China for some surgery. So he was out for around 6 months. He was bedridden for around 6 months, and the speaker was aware, so he did not lose the seat. So you can lose, you can miss, but if the speaker is aware, your seat you can lose. So answer C is saying that if a member misses 8 consecutive, if you miss without permission, of course you go home. If a member of parliament opposes the government, no, they criticize the government, but then loses it. Which person founded the Imperial Tumesema? That aside, we had this question. We had William Makna. You can imagine, we have this question number 15. Answer A. It is the answer question number 17A. See now? Good. And Carl Peters, we had Frederick Dugard. Dugard is the one who constructed Fort Smith. Fort Smith at a place known as Dagoretti. He collaborated with the Wayaki Wainga from the Gikuyu. Which soil are also known as the young soil? We have the alluvial soil, of course. This one is very direct. They are also called Arabs. When this question comes in fact from the Roman number 1, and these are Semites, they are also called Arabs or Semites. They came to the coast area of Kenya using the Dhows, Iwins, and came to trade with the coastal people, communities in Kenya, intermarried with the coastal Bantus, communities to give rise to Swahili. These are the Arabs members, or the Semites. The National Assembly is made up of how many elected members of parliament? To represent the constituencies, we have 290. Remember, 47 members. We have 47 senators, 47 governors, women reps. The 16 nominated members, these are in the Senate, and 12 nominated members in the National Assembly. So we have 290 members of parliament elected to represent the constituencies where they came from. Which one of the following shows an example of the mountain formed above? This is a fold mountain. A fold mountain, whereby we say that the rocks bent. They never broke, they bent, because we had some forces from this side. And this side, we call them compressional forces. Those are compressional forces from the western side and the eastern side and under the ground. So they make the soil layers, the rock layers to bend. These are fold mountain. An example, we have the Cape Ranges in South Africa. We have Drakensberg in South Africa and Atlas Mountains in the northern part of Africa. Three of the following are objectives of the SADC. Which one is not? In fact, we say promote trade in the wider market, of course, promote and defend peace of this. Remember, we cannot widen the market without peace. We cannot promote trade without security. So security, peace, and trading goes hand in hand. Promoting friendly relationship among the member states, of course, and encourage industrial development in not West Africa. SADC stands for the South African Development Community. It is South African development. So this is West Africa, whereby we have the ECOWAS. Which one of the following is not main tourist attraction in Mauritius? It is ruins of European settlement. The coastal beaches, warm climate, resources, of course, yes. The following are political organization of the San people, except one. The chieftainship was held. Number one, learners should understand, and this thing I've talked it several times about the San members and the Khoikhoi. These are language groups in South Africa. When we compare the Khoikhoi and the San, the Khoikhoi had a structured leadership, whereby we say that the clans among the Khoikhoi were being arranged according to the seniority. That in every clan we had a clan elder. In every age group we had a clan elder. So these age groups, all the age set, these groups, we can assume maybe from the age of 18 maybe to 30, we had a leader there. From 30 to 40, a leader there. From 40 to 50, a leader. From 60 to 70, a leader. And above 70, so there was a leader. Those members from the senior most, above 70, they gave us the overall leader, above 70. So we can say the Khoikhoi had a structured kind of leadership. Structured Khoikhoi. Since they had what you call the chiefs, we had the overall chief. The San members, under politically, the political organization of the San ended at the family level, whereby decisions were made at the family level. At the community level, it was through consensus. We also see consensus or the mutual agreement. So the San members had no leadership structure. In other terms, we can say the Khoikhoi had centralized kind of government, and the San had decentralized government. Decentralized, no leadership structure. Centralized, we have leadership structure. The chieftainship was were organized into small units calling bands, hunting bands, very correct. The leadership was not clearly defined. Yes, since there was no leadership, decisions were reached through consensus. Of course, yes. The answer A, text A. I want us to go to the next question. The next question is question number 25. And please, for this one, I want us to do this work. I want to show you on how this work is being done. These are plain paper that I've brought. I've said initially that we have what you call longitudes when finding the time. The question is, time in New Delhi, India is 3 p.m. at 80 degrees east. What will be the time in Accra, of course, Ghana in Africa, capital city of Ghana, 0 degrees. So the first thing what you do, we have to draw the longitudes. This is what I've advised my learner as always. Then you say this is 0 degrees, this is the western side, and this is the eastern side of the primary down, of course. Now go to the question. The time in New Delhi, India is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. at 80 degrees east. So where is my east? My east is here. So I assume this is my 80 degrees east. The time here is 3, I think 00 p.m. Good. Find the time at 0 degrees. Find the time at 0 degrees, Accra, Ghana. So I'll draw an arrow pointing towards the side. So I'll say the first thing is a degree difference. The degree difference, we are moving from the eastern side within the east because we are not crossing the prime meridian. It is within the east from 80 to 0. So it is east. We are going to subtract. So we have degree difference. It is 80 degrees minus 0 degrees. So the answer becomes what? 80 degrees. Then we say if 1 degree is equals to 4 minutes. What about 80 degrees? How many minutes? We cross, multiply. So we have 80 degrees by 4 minutes divided by 1 degree. I think we are together. Yes, yes. This one and this one goes. We remain 80 by 4. What do you get? 320 minutes. divided by 60 converting into minutes. Minutes, I mean it goes 60 that's 1 into 320. It goes 5 times, which is 5 hours, which is 300, remain 20 minutes. Good. 20 minutes. So we come here. We are moving now towards the western side. Of course, now we say all countries on the eastern side of any longitude. Any countries on the eastern side of any longitude, they are behind in terms of us. So we are going to subtract. And the boys and girls, here we have 3:00 p.m. Now take away 5:20 hours. We cannot take away 5 from 3. So what do? We are going to add 12-hour clock system to 13. So plus 12 hours here, plus 12 hours. What we get, it is 15:00 hours, because now we have added 12 into 3. Then take away 5:20. What happened here? What happens here? We borrow 1 hour from here, we remain with 14. So 1 hour convert into minutes, we have 60. 60 minus 20, we get 40. Then 14 minus what? 5, it is 9. So the answer becomes 9. We are coming back. It was 3 p.m. So it is 9 in the morning. It is 9 a.m. Let's check whether it's the answer there. 9:40 a.m. Now you can see we have that answer there. Which climate has been described below? It experiences very high temperatures during the day. It experiences very low temperatures during the night. The rainfall ranges between 125 to this is desert climate. Desert climate. You know, desert in the day we have very high temperatures, up to around 58 degrees Celsius. But during the night, it goes down up to 4 degrees Celsius. Which type of vegetation has been labeled XXX? We have XX. This is Mediterranean, of course. Yes. What part of Africa is sparsely populated? Learners, we have Congo. I always say that Congo forest is sparsely populated because of the forest. Ethiopian highlands, many people are there. Nile Valley, we have so many people. Lake Victoria Basin, a lot of people, because of the good climate for farming. Good climate for farming, and enough water for irrigation farming. Good climate for farming. Congo Basin, because of the forest, very minimum people. Which one of the following is not a language group found in West Africa? Bantus are not found in West Africa. They are found in the central part of Africa, the southern part of Africa, and the eastern. Mande speakers, these are the members in West Africa. Afroasiatic, the Kwa speakers are the largest group. The Afroasiatic, the smallest group in West Africa. In which river is Kareba Dam project constructed? It is on the River Zambezi. River Zambezi is constructed, the Kareba Dam is constructed on a gorge. A gorge, it is a deep valley found along River Zambezi. Example of the fish found inland is mudfish. Lobusta, mackerel, and mullet, these are the marine. The last question for today. Which one of the following is a negative influence of physical features to human? A negative influence. Plains provide good pasture for livestock. It is a positive. Lakes and rivers provide fishing ground. It is a positive. Plains encourages flooding in some areas. Encourages flooding. Flooding is a negative. So the answer is supposed to be C. Which of the following activities is not carried out in lakes? This crop growing. We cannot do crop growing in lakes. So fishing, transport, and mining, of course, yes. It was practiced in areas that had low population. It involved clearing and burning of the bushes. This is shifting, a traditional method of farming. The simple tools were used. We see slash and burn. It was cleared. It was involved clearing and the burning of the bush. This is a shifting cultivation. Which of the following is not a way of managing slow population? Managing. We say encouraging immigration. The word immigration means when members leaving our country to another country. Increasing food production increases people in terms of production. We always have so many people coming up. Improving medical care, of course, and the social side like medical care, and encouraging immigration. Immigration means when members comes into our country. That's what I was using to my learners. You know, this is Kenya and we have to use Swahili. I told my learners that immigration, we have the sound A. A means enter. So where are you going? Outside the country. This one makes members in our country to the number to go down. Immigration means ingia. So when we have so many members coming in our country, the population grows. Which mineral is mined using drilling method? Of course, the petroleum. Which factor is not an influencing of industrial development in South Africa. Political stability, not political instability. This one cannot promote any trade, cannot promote any industries, cannot promote any development. Political instability, it is an effect that lowers in the industrial development. Availability of labor is there, infrastructure and ready markets. The following are the importance of peace in a society, except the country grows and develops well, of course, yes. People live happily, yes. The country becomes poor, no. Children go to school safely and learn without fear, of course, yes. So the country becomes poor, that one is odd one out. The last question: which one of the following is a right of persons with special needs? These members should not be given any favor. They should be treated like any human being. They should be given equal opportunities with others, yes. They should always be favored, no. They should do what they want, no. They should be employed without education, no, they can't work like that. The final one, the Secretary Cabinet of Education in Kenya is, we have Professor Jacob Kaimenyi, we have Richard Tingiro, William Ruto, Ezekiel Machogu. So Machogu anatufungia siku ya leo kwa somo. Machogu ni waziri wa elimu. Machogu is the cabinet, the current one under the UDA government. For those few remarks, the remaining 20 questions, we are going to do them in the course of today again. So learners, I want to thank you for listening to me. Please, let's keep on rising. This is our time, this is our year, and we have to perform. I wish all my learners well. During the half term, if there is any question in social study, please post this. I will answer you without any hesitation. Have a lovely night. May God bless you. Thank you.